The National STOL Series is presented by Vlad Gardner Aviation Insurance. For all your insurance needs, aviation protected. Legend Aircraft, not your grandfather's Cub. Duke Propellers, offering a wide variety of carbon-made propellers and rotors. AirTech Coatings, let us show you how we make paint fly. USATrailersDirect.com, find your perfect trailer, we have it all. Your #1 source for trailers in the United States. Sarasota Avionics and Maintenance, the #1 aircraft avionics installer in the nation. Lift Aviation, leading innovation in aviation apparel and equipment. Rugged Radios, the official communications provider of National STOL. FlightHelmet.com, fly with safety and comfort, leave the noise behind. McFarland Aviation Products, thousands of parts, save thousands of dollars. Flight Outfitters, for all your National STOL gear and apparel. Flying Eyes, specialized sunglasses for pilots by pilots. Special thanks to local community sponsors, Jeff Davis Parish Tourist Commission, Tushada Tribe, ETR Jet Center, Avi Nation, Dispatch Aviation. And now, live from Jennings, Louisiana, here's your host, Ryan Dembrowski and Colonel Matthew Peterson. Welcome to Swamp STOL.
Welcome to Swamp STOL 2023. I'm Ryan Dembrowski.
And I'm Colonel Matthew Peterson.
The Colonel's here. We're back again. Yes. Very different from the first time. Yeah, let's high five about it. Very different from the first time I was here. It was a little hot. Now look, I'm in 3 layers. I'm in 3 layers, and I'm still cold, folks.
I don't mean to brag, but you notice I've got a very nice jacket here. I'm just going to give a little shout out.
You're looking good today. I'm looking a little underprepared for being a Wisconsinite. But yeah, we're here. Swamp STOL 2023, Swamp STOL Trois. So let's talk a little bit about how this works. So we talk a lot about spot landing competitions. That's something that pilots do. They have spot landing competitions. You go to your home airport, you fly a little bit, and land as close as you can to a line. People measure how far you land. You don't have to stop. You just roll through. That's cool, and that's what I do at my home airport. But this is that turned up to like 100.
Yes.
So tell you what, why don't we split it in half? I'll do the takeoff part, and then you tell me the landing part. So the takeoff part is a little easier. That's why I took it. Competitors will taxi up to that white line you see. You see where the national STOL flags are. They'll taxi up to that white line, wait for the go-ahead from the line judge. The air bosses say, yep, go ahead. You'll hear a roar of throttle. It'll be very exciting.
All of it.
All of the throttle.
Of it. You're putting it to the firewall.
The pilots will then commence takeoff, and the goal is to take off as short as possible. That's why it's short, takeoff, and landing. Line judges and cameras will assess the distance from when those main wheels leave the ground, and then they'll enter the traffic pattern, coming back to do the landing.
That's right. In that traffic pattern, we decided at the safety meeting that 500 feet would be our maximum altitude. You'll see most of the pilots hanging out around 300 feet. Always with safety in mind, their left-hand pattern out of the grass strip, staying over the runway at all times so that we don't fly over the great city of Jennings, which I just can't say enough good things about. You can hear more about that later on the broadcast. Then they make their left-hand turn, and you use the words commence. I like that. They commence to taking off. Well, when they make that base to final, they'll come in and they'll commence to landing. And the goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to, 1, not scratch. If they land short of the line, it is a scratch. And you will see Lexi Duncan, our line judge, and she'll put her arms like this.
Yep, she's just getting in position right now, getting ready.
Right. So that would be a scratch, and you'll see her do that. And then the crowd's going to go, oh, and everybody will be very disappointed. That score won't count. But if they land on the line or just past it, they slam on the brakes, stop that aircraft as fast as they can. I don't think anybody here has a beta prop, so nobody's going to be reversing the thrust on their prop, but they're going to have to use just the brakes and stop as soon as they can And then the judges, the line judges, are all volunteer line judges, are going to measure that distance, and that's their second score.
And we add those together.
You add those together, that's your total score. Now of course, and Ryan and I talk about this all the time. There's a lot of mental game that goes on here, because if you scratch, your first score doesn't count. So Ryan,
Right.
if you make a great takeoff and you scratch,
Yeah, no go.
no go.
And here's
It doesn't
the thing.
matter.
Every pilot scratches. Even you're going to see at the
Yes.
unlimited class towards the end of the day, those greats, those legends of STOL. And there's legends of STOL in every class.
So we do have some highlights from yesterday. Do we want to take a look at some of that?
Let's check out some highlights from yesterday. Everyone get pumped. Stay warm. The more energized you are in the crowd, the warmer you will be. Let's roll this video.
This is the first National STOL event. I vowed I would never compete. I'm like, it's not for me. And I still say I'm not competing. I'm in the rookie class, just the most laid back class. There's no regulation on what kind of plane you have or anything else.
So the touring class, it used to be just touring airplanes, and now that we've switched around the classes, because the 170Bs would always win. So they ended up putting us in the Bush class, which it's a touring airplane, and the word has it, Austin Clemens isn't coming, because the Super 170's in his class, because he was pretty scared about the Bs.
My name is Sean Johnson, flying National STOL competition in the Bush class.
My name is Justin Tisdale. I'm flying a Zenith 750, flying in the Sport class. My dad and I would always go to events and things like that, and I would always look up and just see people flying. And for me, it was something that I dreamed of doing. It's something that he dreamed of doing. We grew up like kind of poorish, and he was a cop and couldn't really afford to do that kind of stuff. So after I got out of the military, I started looking at aviation. I was like, man, I think I could do that. Wound up completing that dream of his and mine to become a pilot. And anyone can do it. I know if I can do it, other people can do it.
You know, I'm going to be in this new class, the Bush class, so I think that's pretty awesome that they think that these bigger four-seater airplanes can compete against these planes that are 3 times the price.
So yeah, just an amazing day of practice yesterday.
That
A lot
was
of
awesome.
challenging conditions. You could see all the mud flying around. You got all the water spraying everywhere. It's just super exciting. Things have dried out a bit. They've dried out a bit, but I think we're still going to see a fair amount of mud being slung around today. We've even got some competitors changing their wheels and tires to adapt to the conditions.
So all the STOL pilots do that. They have different tires and wheels that they like to use, and please don't show me the radar picture. And they all they change the equipment, and some of them even change the tuning of the planes depending on what kind of competition they're in. And they'll change the setup of the plane for what kind of competition they're in. This is truly aviation competition at the highest level. Let's talk about these rookies.
These are the rookies. So talking about highest level, these are the people who are starting out, getting their feet wet, literally.
That's right.
Their mains wet, literally. We've got coming up for you David Warren, 1959 Cessna 182. Eric Bentley, 1953 Cessna 170. Kelly Qualls, he was putting in work yesterday during practice in his 100 horsepower 2007 Cub Crafters. He's all the way from Hot Springs. Nick Ardillo in a Cub Crafters Super Sport. And at the back of the pack, Chris Jameson, 2005 Zenith 701. There's Kelly Qualls taxi in front of the booth, already kicking up some mud.
Already. But listen, these pilots, these planes are used to getting dirt on them. These are backcountry aircraft. They are designed to go out into the backwoods, and have all this fun, and that is exactly what they're going to do today.
So looks like we've got Kelly Qualls at the front of the line, Nick Ardillo right behind him, and then here comes Chris Jameson in that Zenith. The other two piecing out. We'll get them started. So this is really exciting for National STOL. in the third season, 2023 season for National STOL. This rookie class, a way for the rookies to get some air under their wings.
That's right.
Get mentored by some more experienced pilots.
That's right. Cannot talk enough about the mentoring that goes on here. It goes on around the campfires. It goes on at the social events. I took a video last night of the lobby of the Hampton Inn, and it was amazing. It was just filled with pilots, and it was just the deafening roar of pilots talking to one another. It was just absolutely outstanding.
Current conditions, winds out of 020 at 10 knots. Visibility is a nice solid 10 statute miles. Overcast at 9,000. So all told, pretty good flying weather.
Look at the density altitude, Ryan.
Negative
1,000.
Negative 1,000 feet on the density altitude.
We're flying underwater. We have a negative density altitude here. And what that means for you folks at home, that the air is cold and it's dense. The planes will create more lift and we will get better scores. The headwind is really looking good. All right, a headwind always favorable. You always want to have a headwind when you're trying to take off. And the only thing that kind of messes with pilots as far as wind goes are gusts. And we'll talk some more about how pilots adjust for gusts on their finals. But the more headwind you have, obviously the lower your score is going to be.
Yeah, more wind equals more better.
More better.
They taught me
more
that in
wind
school.
Is more better.
Kelly Qualls on the line right now, number 86, Sport Cub. 100 horsepower. He got his pilot's license back in 2007, and so far he's got 100 hours since last May on it. So he's flying a lot.
Kelly's in a good area to fly too, up there in Arkansas.
Absolutely,
You know?
Got a Continental 0200 in it. And VGs, we could talk a little bit about VGs and the shocks, the Acme shocks, dude.
Right.
Some mods he's done to it.
So those vortex generators, here he comes. He's ramping up. He's got the tail up.
That's a little nice flare for a rookie. Here we go. Popping the flaps.
There he goes at about 100 and I'm calling that 123.
We'll see the score on the screen here and relay it to you in the audience momentarily.
Now, for those of you who've never watched one of these broadcasts before, myself and Ryan will sit here, and it's kind of a game. We like to just call it, but then the judges call it in, and Tom is in the studio to our right. And here he goes. Here comes Nick.
Nick Ardillo and the Cub Crafter off
short. Oh, very short. He's off 60? 75? 70, 65 probably. That was a really good one. And now comes the Zenith.
By the way, Nick Ardillo, you got to look out for him. He's in the rookie class, but he's a retired KC-135 pilot.
He's bringing the nose up early. And there goes the Zenith. And around 80 feet. Yeah, so Nick is in the rookie class because this being his first competition. Now, that doesn't mean he's a rookie pilot. If you're flying a KC-135, you are no rookie pilot. You are an expert and a military-trained professional. So we'll get some scores in, and then we'll find out whether Ryan and I are the best
at
judging distance, at estimating distances.
Now, well, Matt, we got a minute here. While Kelly comes in, while he's coming in on kind of extended final, he's got those flaps dropped.
Are you throwing a knife hand? Is that
no,
what you're doing?
with knife hand?
You've been hanging around me too long.
I've been hanging around you way too long.
Hanging around
I want to talk
long.
about one of our sponsors. I want to talk about FlightHelmet.com. They're helping us make this possible. FlightHelmet.com, they're specializing in sales and service of flight helmets, comms equipment, clothing, safety and survival equipment. They're full service. The pilots, you can go check out more information in your welcome bag if you're a pilot here at the competition. But everyone go check out FlightHelmet.com. Here's Kelly Qualls now on short final. Flaps
Looking good.
Dropped.
Looking good. Keep it steady. You notice there's not a lot of buffeting. I think we've got a good stable headwind today, and that is going to... Now drop those flaps, Kelly. Drop them. Dump them. Dump them. Dump the flaps. He's still got the flaps in.
I want to point out there, did you see that he basically slid on locked up tires for
That's right.
25 feet, I think?
So they do get 3 tries at this, folks, and Kelly will start getting it dialed in. But I want you to notice he landed way to the right of the start-stop line. That's not that unusual for your first run. You're in there, you got the butterflies. What you want to do is you want to get one in the books. Just get a score in the books, because what you don't want to ever do is triple scratch.
That would be a bad deal.
Bad
Triple
deal.
scratch.
Here comes Nick.
Nick Ardillo.
Look at that. Watch him dump the flaps. Boop. Flaps are down. Plane is down.
Stick full back.
He's got a good
Now
bit
you
of
got to
roll
get
out
those.
there.
You
Lock 'em
know
up.
what? I was going to say, Nick, get on those brakes, but that left main was totally locked up that whole way.
See? So what's fascinating, folks, these planes don't have ABS. They don't have a lot of the things that you have on your car. It is pure pilot to tire.
Here's
All
Chris
field.
Jamison now in the Zenith Rotax powered. Over the
That was
line.
very good.
Getting that
was-
aerodynamic braking with the controls full back. You see that elevator's all the way
Yep.
up, and he's squirrely at the end there.
squirrely at the end, but you got to give him credit. He when he planted it, it did not bounce. That plane was out of energy when it hit the ground. Folks, give Kelly a wave as he comes by.
Yeah, they can hear you in the stands,
They
folks.
can
Give a
hear
big
you.
cheer for these rookies.
They can hear you, and give them a big thumbs up. Don't worry, they're having a good time. They want you to have a good time too.
And I don't want to understate what it feels like, even for someone like Nick, flies for a major airline now. Yeah, he's pumped. He's kicking some mud, but it's a fair amount of stress. It's a fair amount of stress to fly for the first time. You at one point were a rookie in this series.
Yes.
How would that first competition
you've
feel?
got butterflies. Here comes Kelly. Here comes Kelly Qualls. Even better. Even better. Look at that. Okay, so he pulled early, and he slogged around in what you call ground effect, and that's great. So now that he's got one in the books, folks, the pressure's off, you see. He's already got his score in the books, so now he can take more chances. And he can pull a little bit earlier, and which is exactly what he did. That was a good run. And here comes Nick. Flaps in.
That takeoff is
76.
all about timing, right? It's all
Timing.
about making sure that you're taking that bite of angle of attack at just the right moment.
Right.
If you wait too long, the plane comes off the ground too easily, you maybe waited a little too long.
Exactly.
If it doesn't come off the ground, you tried a little too soon.
Exactly. It's all about that timing. Here he comes. He's picking that nose up early. Hey.
There we go, Chris Jamison.
What a rookie class. Are you sure this is the rookie class?
It's the rookie class. Now let's talk about the standings after that first run. In third place, Nick Ardillo with 274. Chris Jamison, second place, 233. And Kelly Qualls just edging him out by 4 feet, 229. Now there's 2 more runs to go.
They're really close. So we're trying to find out here in the booth, folks, how many runs we're going to give these guys. I say give them a bunch. Give them a... Right.
So we're going to do 3 runs for the rookie class today.
Man, this rookie class, we might be able to bring them back later, folks. We like to... look at Kelly Qualls slipping in. He is executing a slip, ladies and
Slipping
gentlemen.
real good. Here we go.
He is turning the
Loving
aircraft
that.
sideways, which is bleeding off energy and making the airplane drop faster.
You can see that they're stacking up a little bit, too, so we'll have some spacing that the air bosses will be talking to them about. But, yeah, Kelly's coming in well-controlled, now stable, slipped it down to a more manageable altitude that he liked the sight picture of.
See, and so now he's getting where he wants to be at the level of his approach coming in. You know, he's not flying like a rookie. I'm going to have to call him for sandbagging later. Dump those flaps, Kelly.
Over the line, nice and good. Thumbs up from Lexi.
Very good.
And that left main totally locked up. So that left side of the runway may be a little slippery.
Yeah, I believe so. I think that's exactly what's going on.
Nick Ardillo now, short final. Off to your left, folks. Watch the wig-wag lights.
Here he comes, another beautiful airplane. Now, he's set up really well. Now, folks, you want to come in at a high angle of attack. You can see him kind of making some corrections with his pedals. That means he's catching a little bit of buffeting, but his wings are super stable. Now, watch Nick dump these flaps. Boop, just like that.
Right on the line. Thumbs up.
That
It's good.
That was a perfect three-point landing. Absolutely perfect. So, I think it's real telling.
Yeah, they
Ryan.
need him to move. They're saying, move, move, move. We got it.
Oh, yeah, no, he's got plenty of time. There's another Zenith coming in behind him. So, And we'll talk about this in a minute when these planes reposition. He's about to. Oh no!
Oh, he held it. Oh,
Scratch.
it's a scratch.
That's a
First scratch of the competition.
Lexi's giving him the scratch.
No, I'm going to be honest. I was expecting to see a scratch way sooner than
Yes,
that.
absolutely. They got through a whole first round, but they got that score in the books, and that's a psychological thing. Dump the flaps.
Kelly's
Dump the
got a
flaps.
big grin. He's
He's
pumped. Everyone
smiling,
give him a
he's
round of
happy.
applause. Come on.
Oh,
Second landing, second run.
I wish I was on the radio. I'd be coaching him right now. You know,
He might be
dump your
listening.
flaps.
Sometimes they listen to us while
They
they're.
do, which is kind of amazing if you think about it. That's a whole lot going on. Kelly's bringing him up. Lexi's bringing him up. Lexi, an assistant director at her local FBO. She marshals airplanes professionally all the time.
Now, I want to point out the standings now unchanged between the first run and second run, but Nick Ardillo shortened it up by 20 feet. There's Kelly. Nice deck angle.
Very
leveling
nice.
it off, dumping those flaps. He's off to the races.
It's great to have a good angle and get a couple of feet off the ground, but what you really want to do is pull back and slog around in ground effect for a while. Get the plane off the ground as soon as possible. And is that just playing the rules? Absolutely, it's playing the rules.
Here's
Here
Nick
comes
Ardillo. Now, interesting. He had a longer takeoff last time, shorter landing by a lot second round. So
Well,
he's improving quite well.
That's because he's starting to dial it in, which is why the practices are so important.
And Chris Jameson in that Rotax-powered
Yes,
Zenith
indeed.
701 from Marks, Missouri. Oh, just floating it off.
Oh, nice. So you notice when he takes off, he doesn't take off straight. He likes to give it just a little bit of nose high. Each of these pilots has their own style that they like to use.
You
You're gonna
mentioned style.
what?
Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to steal it back from you for another
Do it.
talk to sponsors about style. You're wearing a Flight Outfitters jacket. We're proudly sponsored by Flight Outfitters this year. From bags and kneeboards, accessories, they got all sorts of items at Flight Outfitters. The Mark's enthusiasm, he's the owner for flying. It just seeps into every product. Coming soon, you're going to see exclusive National Stole jackets for Flight Outfitters.
Flight Outfitters.
Professional announcing, Flight Outfitters.
And
I'm going to say Flight Outfitters a few times to make up
I
for
don't
that.
mind
Flight
telling you,
Outfitters.
I'm kind of proud of my jacket. I really like it. It's very warm.
It's good. Flight Outfitters.
It's very warm. I wouldn't go to Gainesville without it. And so here comes Kelly Qualls again, having already gotten his score in the books. All the pressure's off of him. He's just having fun now. You got to watch out for these guys. When they start having fun, that's when the scores start coming down, and that's when you start seeing the better flying. Look how slow he's going.
Yeah, he's got it
He
right
is coming
there.
in. He has got all that energy. Get that nose up,
Oh.
up.
Oh, scratch for Kelly. But
Okay.
that's fine. He's still in the lead of the rookie class, and he definitely had the room, sort of. 4 feet. He's got 4 feet of room, of safety room, to try to be a little more aggressive. So currently 225, actually. He did DQ on run 3. Excuse me. I'm looking at the
he's
stats
DQ
here.
on run 3. You won't have to put it in there.
And it's important to mention, if you win the rookie class today,
That's right.
guess what?
You can't go back to rookie class.
You're not a rookie
It's
anymore.
a one-time thing. You are no longer a rookie. So, oh, nice.
Thumbs
Look
up
at
from
Nick
the
coming
line
in.
judge. Just totally locked up, keeping it straight on basically ice.
So, what Kelly was trying to do on that scratched him, he was trying to get his nose high and stall the aircraft right past the line. The problem with that is sometimes you stall the aircraft just a tad bit early. It's hard to predict that stall.
Feeling a little bit of gust in the back
on,
of my head
come
for
on,
Chris here. Held it off.
Oh, a thumbs up from Lexi. That's good.
He's got to get on the
That's
brakes.
good.
We're going to see that all day.
Yes,
it's going to
we
be
are.
just slick. Pilot's giving up probably an extra 10, 20 feet.
Probably. Hopefully, with the headwind, they're going to pick that up in the takeoffs and this negative 1,000 foot density altitude.
When it's time to recover and paint your fabric-covered aircraft, look no further than AirTech Coatings. Since 1982, our FAA-approved system provides you with a shiny, durable, easy-to-apply product. The AirTech system has fewer steps than any other product on the market today, saving you both time and money. While using cutting-edge technology, we offer a wide range of products. Whether it's for work, play, antique, or aerobatic, we have you covered. Remember, we make paint fly.
Let's go back then. We were talking a little bit about day one, because every one of these events is a bit of an adventure for all the competitors and all the people who come and help put it on. Just countless people that put this event on. And so day one, I think we have a video package we can roll that shows a little bit about how day one kicked off earlier this week.
We do, and I want to bring this up. This is something that's really important to all of us in National STOL. We come from adventure flying, right? We come from backcountry playgrounds, and we found that there was an opportunity to take that to the public at an airport like this. But that doesn't mean that the adventure flying stopped, right? A bunch of our pilots got together and they said, let's go fly to a beach that's never been flown to before. Check it out, guys. Roll the tape for the pilots adventuring together.
I didn't get any gator on a stick. That was a missed opportunity.
You could have just let us know, man. We could have gone over to Miss Maryland's.
Should have done that.
Got you some gator on a stick. You'd have been okay.
That's all right. Well, so let's regroup a little bit. This morning, like Eric mentioned just a little bit ago, this morning is what counts for the results for the season, for the national standings. That's this morning. This afternoon now, we're just putting in more reps. We're getting folks, you at home and you at the fence, some more exciting STOL action. We're still going to be able to give you scores, but they're not going to count for the national standings. So excited to see that all kick off. We're starting back up with our rookie class, and here's who we've got on the line coming up. Kelly Qualls in that Sport Cub did really well this morning. Based on the unofficial results, will not be in the rookie class moving forward. Kelly
Look
Qualls,
at that first place.
Yeah, 229 feet combined for Kelly Qualls. Chris Jameson behind him. Two aircraft behind him, but in that Zenith in front of all you, the 701 Whiskey Bravo. Chris Jameson's in that aircraft. He was in second place in the rookie class, 233. And behind him in the Cub Crafter SS, Nick Ardillo. Nick, talked to him a little bit last night. Great dude. Definitely someone who you got to keep your eye on. Former military pilot, flies airliners now. Really great to see him do that. He walked up, he's like, hey, no one knows my name. And I was like, I guarantee they're all going to know your name soon, bud. No question.
Absolutely. And I tell you this, I want you to notice that there is only 4 feet between Kelly Qualls and Chris Jameson. Just a mere 4 feet.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. That is a high level of competition right there, folks. But like you say, Kelly is no longer in the rookie class anymore. And
He's moving on up.
Moving on up. There he goes.
The other thing I wanted to point out is look at the consistency from Chris Jamison this morning. Run 1, run 2, only a 1 foot difference in combined score. So that's also something to pay attention to.
That's outstanding.
Kelly Quall is coming up to the line now. And we're kicking off Stol action here at Swamp STOL 3
in Jennings, Louisiana. Now we're getting down into things like personal bests, bragging rights. When you fly Stol demo at Sun and Fun, there's no official score. The points don't count for the series.
Sure.
You're just shooting for your personal best. And last year, kind of thanks to you and I going up and doing a little flying around.
That was fun. I appreciate that, by the way.
It was a blast. And thanks to all of that, I was able to really able to improve my personal best there at Sun and Fun. And those are numbers I still throw around to these days.
Yeah, I'm your good luck charm.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Went back to the basics. Got back to what it's all about. Just basic good flying.
Want to point out, by the way, everyone's just chilling here for a second because the engines have also been chilling. So it's a little cold. We got to get the engines up to operating temperature.
I don't feel that I'm up to operating temperature. All right, here goes Kelly. Nice.
Like 100 feet for Kelly Qualls there.
Very nice.
That's just that's a strong sales pitch for a classic tail dragger, classic bush plane right there. Off in 100 feet. Go anywhere, do anything. That's where all of this sport was built in the beginning. Here's Nick Ardillo now.
Bringing it in at 80. Very nice.
Nick Ardillo, look at that bank angle. Really getting it.
If you were driving by on the interstate and you saw this, you would probably wonder. Yeah, Chris did really well on that one.
That was a really solid. I think that was
solid
almost his almost his shortest takeoff. Getting there. Actually, I totally lied. That was 84 feet. So his worst takeoff so far, but he's working into it. Wow, I'm consistent as well. Look at Kelly Qualls now, high and to your left. Flaps dropped, slipping it in. I love a good slip. It just looks so cool.
Look at that. Yeah, he's way high.
Slipping it in, flaps and slips at the same time.
Uh-oh, boom, too much.
Definitely slipped it all the way in, but a nice bounce over the line for Kelly Qualls. He doesn't care. He's just here to have fun.
He's so glad these points don't count. So I can't help but wonder, with all of the pressure off, will they perform better or worse?
That's a really good question.
Because, that nervous energy kind of, gets your adrenaline going, makes you want to perform better, but now it's all for fun. It's just for us, and it's for them improving themselves and becoming better. Look at Nick
Ardillo. Now that going to be happy with that one. He's got to get on the brakes a little bit more, but he's going to be happy with that one. Also, just really beautiful aircraft, right? I like that maroon.
Yes, indeed.
That maroon color.
Oh, hold on.
Chris Jamison now coming up to the line in the Zenith.
All right, here comes Chris in the Zenith.
Bringing it in low. Got that Rotax powered engine, and he's looking like he... Oh, scratch.
Just barely a scratch.
Scratch. I didn't want to call it too soon, but I kind of saw it.
All right, here they come by. Look at this. We've still got some hardcore fans here, some hardcore Stol fans. So glad to see y'all out here today in this cold, windy, blustery wet Louisiana day. You know, this is our what we call second winter. We've had fall spring where it got up to 84 degrees, and everybody was like, this is wonderful. And all the pecan trees budded out. And we were like, oh, great. Well, winter's over. Great. And, well, but we didn't realize that was false spring, which is a season here. Now we're into second winter.
There's Kelly again. Sub 75-foot takeoff. That is his best takeoff of today. So you're talking about personal best.
There you go.
Didn't need to put down a number like that this morning. Still going for it.
And here comes Nick. I have a buddy with a Carbon Cub. He's really good. I just can't convince him to compete. There you go, Nick.
Oh, way sub 75 there for Nick Ardillo, too. Now, he has been playing in that range all day. 65, 77, 69. That one was 71-foot takeoff there. So really great to see Nick competing aggressively. Chris Jameson now. I kind of love that. Yeah, there we go. That's more about what we're looking for from him. We can call it 60, I think, I bet, based on the lines. It's like the one line you and I are lined up on. Yeah. There's no parallax for us here. 60 feet. The way that his method is really interesting, right? He's just like wheeling it, and then it just floats.
Right, and Jan Eggenfeller and I have had long discussions about this because I think they could do a little better if they just kept everything slick to the wind and then just popped it at the last minute and got that rotation. I've been told that a nose dragger actually has an advantage over a tail dragger in that the main gear is further back and is the fulcrum of the lever that pops everything up, that you could actually get a better pop with a nose dragger. But, you know, that's why Kenny Monger's out there just killing it.
Sure.
You know? Is he in a
Kenny
nose dragger?
Monger, not someone to mess with.
No. Turn your back on him and he'll beat you. Ask Jeff Bowl.
Chris Jones on social says, nice job, Kelly. And that's right, he's coming in for another one.
Sweet.
So no issues with the previous scrub bounce.
That's right.
The scratch bounce.
Yeah, he got it. He got over it.
He's fine. And here's Nick Ardillo just hovering in out there. He's a little to the left. He's gonna center that up. There we go. Just a little burst of power to get it over the line. Nice three-point landing there.
Very nice. You know, you can tell pilots who have a lot of hours in an airframe, they'll land very nicely, let's say. They're not stressing the aircraft, they're not stressing the motor, they're not putting themselves out. You know, you can tell that they're just having a real good time with it. Wow,
scratch there for Chris Jameson. We got a little bit less wind today, 9 knots now instead of, I think we were 10, and then gusting almost up to 20 knots.
Yeah, I'm sure that we're talking about scores here in the booth, folks. I'm fairly certain that they've already recorded, screenshot the scores from the first 3 series, which are the scores that are going in the books. But now this is kind of interesting because we've kind of got some bragging rights going on here. So, you know, if you're still flying, it's because you know you're going to be in the series. You want to improve your scores and improve your techniques. And there goes Kelly Qualls. Nice.
So Nick Ardillo actually 182 feet now. That was his last run, was really tight, 182 feet, which beats anything Kelly Qualls did this morning. That's going to be an interesting conversation later.
Yep. You know, it's funny that a pilot might say, you know, well, if I was flying my best, I'd win. Well, Your only solution, man. Look at that 70-foot takeoff.
Yeah, 70-foot takeoff there
That's,
for Nick Ardillo. He is
that is-
coming it. I mean, also, let's be clear. Part of this is because we had 3 runs in the morning. We've got 3 runs. We learned from those 3 runs. We got
That's
a
right.
little break. Got to settle our minds, settle our nerves, and then go back out and do it again.
That's right.
And maybe, if these don't count for the national, I want to also be clear. These takeoffs are insane.
Oh, they're incredible. The
These
fact
are
that we're sitting here
compared
casually.
to normal. Yeah, we're just very casual about like, oh yeah,
Oh,
he
yes.
took off in 54 feet just then, or 55 feet maybe.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
Yeah, not bad.
Whatever.
Here come the heavies. Here comes Brandon.
Touring
In the-
class taxiing in front of us now. Brandon Korn, Don Mickey. I see Piper Zilla bringing up the rear to my right. Clayton Stansel in there with Don and that beautiful, beautiful 180. You know, if I had to buy, if anyone wants to get me a Christmas present,
A 180.
well, I've got 2 kids.
That's right. So
One-
you need a true 4-seat airplane.
I'm more of a tandem seat guy, but with the 2 kids, wanting to take them on some adventures, I
That's
feel
right.
like a 180, 185, if anyone's shopping.
And just thinking, you know, if anybody out there in YouTube land right now just wants to buy Ryan a 180,
You could.
he would take it.
I would.
He would take it off your hands, you know, because he would just be a good steward.
So let's talk about what Kelly's been doing so far in this second round, or I guess his 4th, 5th, and 6th round. First takeoff, 94-foot takeoff with a DQ, little Dairy Queen on the back end. 5th round, 74-foot takeoff, 127-foot landing. And this round, unfortunately, 108-foot takeoff. So he's going to have to really make up that distance in the landing.
Well, he's coming in right. He's nice and high. He can get that power out. There we go.
Locked up those tires. Loving that today on the grass. It's starting to still feel like it's getting drier.
It's steady getting drier. It's totally getting drier. We're kind of learning things at this year's Swamp STOL on how to deal with the mud and the gross. Kelly heading back to the pits, and here comes Nick.
Nick with a just textbook tail wheel landing with a 3-point landing there, just textbook.
You know, but this is my point, though. Just imagine that out on some sandbar somewhere or some gravel bar in the Mississippi River.
I mean, we have the Wisconsin River. I don't know if it's legal to land there or not in Wisconsin, but the Wisconsin River's got tons of sandbars. And every time I fly over them, I should Google that, see if I can. I don't have a plane that could. Well, maybe I could if I get some training from a bunch of you guys. Want to land on those places and go where people seldom go. That's part of the freedom.
Hope to see you next year.
Yeah.
At Swamp STOL Cut.
4. I will be
Swamp
there.
STOL 4?
It's going to be so great. We'll see what happens in weather. I've had a really hot Swamp STOL. I've had a really cold Swamp STOL. Maybe next time it'll be Goldilocks and I'll be right in the middle.
That would just be wonderful.
We got to thank... Yeah, we'll get snow next time is what they're saying in our ears. I wanted to thank our sponsors real quick because there's a lot of people that help us make this happen. Actually, before the sponsors, let's hop in line. The volunteers. There are tons of volunteers behind us who are making all of this happen, setting up tents, setting up flags, making sure people are safe behind us, all of that. So thank you so much for the volunteers and our sponsors. Let's go through them one last time. U.S. Trailers Direct, AirTech Coatings, Legend Aircraft, Lift Aviation, Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance, Duke Propellers, FlightHelmet.com, Rugged Radios, Sarasota Avionics, Flight Outfitters, Flying Eyes, and then for Swamp STOL, BTR, McFarland Aviation and MT Propeller, Dispatch Aviation, the Jeff Davis Parish Tourism Commission, that's a lot of syllables, and the Coshada Tribe. All these people, including the volunteers, the staff at National STOL, made this all happen, and the most important person who made this happen was you at home and you in the stands. We can't thank you enough for being here and be a part of this, especially on what turned out to be a little breezy, a little chilly day in Jennings, Louisiana.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Check Matt out on the socials. He's always doing crazy stuff. Check me out on the socials. Super Arrow. Check me out. I've got an interview show on YouTube, all that stuff. You can see even more aviation nerd stuff between the two of us. We don't just only do this, we do other stuff. Hit us up. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Fly safe. We'll see you in a month.
And we'll see you at Sunny Fun in 2 weeks. Take care.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good.
Let's meet up at the compound group up.
At 10-4. Yeah, for sure, dog. Good, little driver, straight on through.
John Mickey from Albuquerque, New Mexico, flying a 1953 Cessna 180. Got the Norland conversion on the engine. Fairly rare mod, helps a lot. MT prop is wonderful.
Hi, my name is Michael Lindstrom. This is my Cessna 170B, all 360 in it, and then a 83-inch MT propeller, that's amazing. It tops a cake on this airplane.